Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin, mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face. With the dawn of redeeming grace, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Thank you, Millie Edwards. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Temple on the Plaza, a place where diversity is praised and peace and harmony are the rewards. That season is upon us. You might notice that we've had a few changes here in the sanctuary with the Christmas decorations. Done wonderfully. Several years ago, the person responsible for the interior design of our Christmas decorations started working on this project, and she discovered that we needed a lot of new stuff. We needed bows, we needed our greenery redone. And so with her band of hardworking volunteers, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, I believe it was, Kathleen Fernholz gathered the troops and put everything up, and we thank her for that. This is the first Sunday of Advent as well, and Advent began about 2,000 years ago, and it was designed as the 4 Sundays leading up to Christmas morning. So it was a celebration, it was an expectation, it was a time to get ready for the birth of Christ. Each one of the Sundays got a special spiritual attribute named after it, and today it is hope, next week peace, joy, and then love. So this morning we have Beth Barnett and her daughter Gwen to come forward and light the candles. The white candle in the middle is the Christ candle, and that is the one that is lit on Christmas Day. Thank you, Beth and Gwen. We'll now begin the service with the temple chimes, the opening prayer, and Aaron Keller with the call to inspiration. I invite you to say the prayer with me if you choose. On this day, we dedicate ourselves to peace on earth. We accept ourselves without harsh judgment and express appreciation for our individuality. We live without fear to meet the events of this day with confidence. We accept others without prejudice to experience a sense of unity with all people. We honor our earthly environment and recognize a oneness with all creation. In harmony with ourselves, our lives, other people, and all of nature, we live this day with a peaceful mind, peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. Thank you, God. Amen.
The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Please join us in singing Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Everywhere
chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletime carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the seasons bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's bringing lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeers really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to
Good morning, Unity Temple. So I've been working on how to develop the perfect story, because that was something that was a mission to me. It's like, how do you develop a great story at the beginning of your talk? Or maybe you could tell the joke. So I was thinking, watching older talks, and decided that when Cousin Ozzy was reading his own mail, if you guys get this, there was a letter that he was reading. And I need you to use your visualization skills on this story. It was a great tragedy had happened, and everyone was running around. Maybe it was like a Chiefs loss or something like that, and everyone's just running around. They're not really sure what to do. So in Reverend Sandra's voice, I need you to envision her saying, everybody just needs something. They need someone to love. But if you can't give them that, then Duke says, just give them something to hope for. Then I hope you guys can get this one. Then Ace comes out of the blue, and he's like, but if you can't give them that, just give them something to do. Today, we're talking more about the hope side of things. And since this is being of Advent, I asked Reverend Sandra to read today's daily word.
Good morning, everyone. 2024 will mark the 100th anniversary since the first daily word was published in 1924. So we're very proud to have that to share with you. Today's daily word is hope and faith. The affirmation is, my hope leads me to deepen in faith. And the daily word reads, as Advent season begins, I feel a quickening, a renewal deep within me as I embark upon the spiritual journey leading to Christmas. Over the year, I may have hoped for lasting peace, greater love, or abiding joy. But as I have grown spiritually, I have learned to look for those things within, to claim them as aspects of my divine identity. Once I do that, I will begin to see them manifest in my life. Faith is how I begin to bring my hopes to life. Like my other divine gifts, I always have faith. It's up to me to decide how to use it. When I choose to believe that peace will blanket the earth, love will heal all hearts, and joy will bring harmony to the world's people, I am using the power of my faith to bring those visions to vivid life. The scripture with today's daily word is from the book of John, the 1st chapter, the 5th verse. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Today's daily word for December 3rd, 2023 is hope and faith. My hope leads me to deepen in faith.
Thank you, Reverend Sandra. So my talk title today is Season of Hope. As we come into the Christmas season, it's a great time to reflect. It's a great time to cast a vision. It's a great time to be present. So part of this, as we look back and as we're looking at hope, there's a couple of things to look at. The hope definition is the expectation of good things in your future or in the future. But before we start looking into the future, I want to look back. And right now, this is you talking to you. So I want you to spend time in the space as I go through these ideas, these questions, and just be thinking about you. Because everything in your life is there to teach you. Everyone who appears in your life is just you speaking to you. And what is important for you at that moment is what will stay with you. And what isn't, you let go. So this conversation is just with me and with you. The first thing is, where are you? Right now, in this moment. You're sitting here at Unity, but where else are you? Are you in a good spot? Are you in a bad spot? Are you in a time when your relationship's thriving and everything's great? Or are you in a time right now, as you hear me say this, you think to yourself, oh, I'm the one who kind of needs some hope right now because things are looking pretty dire. The next question is, where have you been? And we'll go into more depth on that. The third thing is your vision of the future. And next would be always keeping hope. So let's take inventory. Where are you right now? So going back, you're here at Unity, but where else are you at in life? Where do you consider yourself to be? Are you feeling great every day? Are you feeling down? Are you feeling like laughing every day? Are you learning from the children in your life? You need to be able to explore all of these different spaces. But there's nowhere else other than where you are at right now that you need to be. So what does that mean? That means having acceptance and appreciation for everything in your life to bring you up to right now. Because there's no other place to be. No matter what you may think about the past, no matter how many things you could perceive our parents have been different or anything else like that. I know that seems to be a repetitive part of some of my talks, but it's one of the most important things to get is that everything is working in its exact order. Every person in your life, parents, children, everything else, it needs to be exactly as it is for you to be in this space so that you can begin to comprehend from here. Sometimes people get really wrapped up in the future and they just think, well, what's coming later on? And they're overwhelming themselves with all of these ideas, especially spiritual principles that just, it's kind of getting lost. Because right now, you're not even having the best day that you possibly can be. That's all there. It'll still be there once you're ready for it. But for right now, we're just looking at where we at. So breathe into that. Have sincere appreciation. This is a new season, a new month to practice something different. So I want you to take a driver's seat for a moment. And I want you to close your eyes. God is and I am, I want you to remember those two unity principles. And as you think from that position of God is and I am, you are in the driver's seat. It's just you. We're playing the role of creator for a moment in your experience. And as you look at everything in your life, the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you sadness, the things that we might perceive as being challenges, the things we think of as blessings and massive opportunities, you look at that and you placed it there and think to yourself, if I put everything in my life as a school, what is this here to teach me? If it's a family member, maybe it's a parent, and you feel that maybe they could have been different, you look at them and you say, I place you here very intentionally. What are you here to teach me? You look at the children that you have, or the children around you, or the people around you, that maybe they're behaving in a way that you don't necessarily approve of, or maybe it doesn't resonate with you, or maybe it resonates with you so much you get so excited you can hardly hold still. You look at that and say, you are my teacher. What are you here to teach me? You can all open up your eyes. But as you look back over your life, use that skill or that question, that position, to reframe everything up until now, because it's very hard to move forward when you're encumbered by all the weights of the past. So before we can even have much hope for the future, let's work on where we've been. And then also where we're at is part of that. And then vision of the future. The Bible, there's a great proverb, 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. I want to reword that as in when there's no hope and vision, the people perish. Some of you are familiar with Viktor Frankl, the psychologist who was in a Nazi concentration camp, wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. And he was making a point that everything can be taken away from you except the last of human freedoms, which is your ability to choose your outlook. Let's just use outlook. Now, don't quote me on this exactly because I don't have the quote in front of me, but basically you can choose the way that you look at anything in your life. Is that easy to do? No, and sometimes we give that up, saying, well, I have to be this way. If you understood my story, you'd know why I am the way that I am. But once again, go back to those questions and the statement, I've created this. This is a school. What is this here to teach me? So, vision for the future. How can you view the future any way you choose? Are you envisioning the future with optimism, or are you envisioning it with fear? No one can answer this question for you, and it's not what's going on. Watch your words, because in the beginning there was the Word. Are you expressing hope, or are you expressing fear and animosity? Maybe you're watching the news, and maybe it's not you, but have any of you encountered anyone who says, everything's bad right now? The world's more messed up than it's ever been. And sometimes, unconsciously, even though we're not trying to pay any mind to what they've said, it plants a little seed in the back of our mind, and then it germinates. And then if we're not conscious about what we're doing, then somehow we've now watered this seed of negative thinking through, maybe we turn on CNN, maybe we started browsing on Facebook, maybe we talk to the relative who's got a bad attitude. We know they have a bad attitude, but this time we were hoping they'd have a different attitude when we call them. Then you were reminded, well, they're never going to change. And now you've got a new tool, if you go back to that first exercise, that you can teach them now. Not everyone's going to listen, not everyone's ready to, but then you look at them and you say they are exactly where they need to be right now. They're not willing to be a student of their own life. They want to be in judgment of so many different things, and that's okay. We love them equally as well. But when we envision the future, understand being present is the most important part of the hope for the future and even your vision of the future. Because if you spend all of your time in tomorrow, you miss out on the precious moment, which is right now. And that could be just creating a smile for your neighbor. It could be the child who's around you who needs a little bit of optimistic outlook because things aren't working out for that kid in their perspective right now, because there's a lot of uncertainty. So looking at it that way, are you in one of these positions? You right now are in a position that you need some hope. Because things have seemed pretty dire, but you'd love just to get fired up, looking forward to the future. So maybe you're that person who's in need of hope. Maybe you've been so blessed that you're the one who's now in a position to give some hope. Because that's a great spot to be in. Life's worked out amazing. Good. Guess what? Let's not sugarcoat things. There's someone next to you who's not having as good of a day as you. That's awesome. That's a great awareness to have, because now you're in that blessed opportunity to share some hope and some vision. Don't be like, oh, you know what? Global warming right now, temperatures have changed more than they ever have in the past, which is great. The world's changed, just so you guys know, in case this isn't a big surprise. Over the last so many billion years, the world's changed. Like, that's great. So now, this is having a major effect. You can just say, great, awesome. Things change. Welcome to the arena of life. This is a great thing. This is a great observation. So you've got those different positions. You may be the one who needs hope. You may be the one giving hope. Or there's a third position, because if you're thinking none of those apply to you, the next one is that you are on your way to needing hope, or you're on the way to giving hope. But you're always one of those three places. So this is an important word. How good are you at giving yourself hope before you go and try to give it to someone else and realize that the world needs hope more than ever right now? And it's not that the hope isn't there, it's that the people aren't talking about it. That's another gift that you have, is your awareness of the experience of life. How many of you, by a show of hands, realize that there's a lot of people who are sleepwalking in a way through life? Can I see a show of hands? And part of that is they're perfect. And I want you all to get this, because this helps with the hope side of things. They are perfect. What they may be doing in their bodies right now may create some confusion in your mind as to whether or not they're living out their perfect potential. Here we study about the divinity, and I want you to understand what Jesus was trying to do. Everyone is perfect. Beyond their actions, they are perfect. And you look at them lovingly. It's not to say their actions will reflect something that's perfect to you, but I want you to realize that that divine inside of them is perfect. And you need to look at that, and that's what you need to be speaking to, not your judgments of their actions, because that locks people in and it prevents them from being able to move forward. Plus yourself, you're creating a weight for yourself because you're living in a place of judgment rather than appreciation and acceptance. And that's where a lot's really getting lost in the outworkings of the world, is that people forget that. They're like, I'm this person, Rory, I've got this much income coming in, these are the challenges that are going on in the world, I guess I'll just have to deal with it, that's the way it is. No, not at all. The moment you make the decision of, you know what, today I'm in control, today I'm going to make the decision of what I'm going to look at in the future, and dadgum, and I'm going to be hopeful. That's a good word. Dadgum, I'm hopeful. Everyone say it with me. Dadgum, I'm hopeful. Doesn't it just make you feel good saying dadgum? Like dadgum it, like I am fired up and excited about being hopeful now. So that can be you. And just as you go out there, just look at the people around you and realize they're not carrying around that kind of energy. So even if you just make yourself say that multiple times throughout your day, you're going to start to feel more hopeful. How are things going to work out? Great. How do you know that? Because I'm going to have an attitude of greatness regardless of what happens in the future. But you got to be hopeful, and you got to know inside of your being that things are going to be okay. Because imagine you go out, Stacy comes home, she's like, what's today like? I don't know. She's like, don't mention me. So I don't know how things are going to work out, The sun's going down tonight, Stacy. I'm not sure what we're going to do about this. She's like, the sun's coming up tomorrow, but no, Stacy, you don't understand. It's going to go back down tomorrow night. So I'm kind of fearful that things might not work out. It's like, stop for a moment, just be. let's practice the optimism. Everything is going to be great, even through the fear, because what do we know? And try to piece this together is that at the end of life, you will shed your body. So it doesn't even matter if you're in that last stage of life. It will work out. You are going to be okay. Looking back over the inventory on how to be hopeful, look what you've gone through in your life to get here, to arrive here right now. So this is one where I don't want you looking at me. I want you to look inside and remember what you've gone through to get here. And maybe you can picture an adversity that you experienced, a challenge. And then I want you to go back even further and look at the child version of you. And you as the teacher, you're looking at that child version of you and saying, you're going to encounter something that you don't know if you're going to get through. Because you remember what it was like going into that challenge, that fear, and wondering, will I make it through this? So you go back and you look at that child and you say to that child, you're going to experience something. What would you say to that version of you to give them hope? Because you know with absolute confidence you're going to make it through. And this is not something you have to answer for anyone but you. But then you go forward to this version of yourself and you realize that there's something else coming up. But you know with absolute confidence you're going to pull through, and you're going to pull through in an amazing, beautiful, significant way. What would you say to you right now to get you prepared for that? And this hope is so important, of keeping hope. Without hope and vision, people perish. Keeping their hope up. Think about what happens to someone when they give up all hope. Depression sets in. Anxiety sets in. A lot of negative feelings start creeping in. What is it that you're looking for? I'm not looking forward to anything right now. I just hope I can get through the day. What can you do to begin to shift their perspective back to everything's going to work out? What is it that you're excited about? Just give them something to get excited about. But if that's not working, let's just say that you're in that position, you're trying to give someone a little bit of hope. Just remember the wise words of Ace. Ace says, if you can't give them something to hope for, just give them something to do. Because you guys have all heard the expression, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Now, I'm not saying that I believe in a devil character. That's not really something that's practiced in unity. But an idle mind is the devil's workshop. What does that mean? That means if you leave your mind idle, unless you're highly trained in your mind may go into negative spaces. Nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just the way the world might have shaped up your mind to function. So keeping your mind active, doing something that's going to move you in a positive direction, or if you're finding yourself going, because we're in the holiday season, guys, let's not ignore the fact that there's a lot of people who experience extreme excitement for the holidays, and there will be the few in the mix that experience very down times. So as you're expressing this joy and this hope for yourself and for others, that begins to shift everything. So that's the important thing. And just remember, that's what Jesus did. So if you envision Jesus, and Duke says this really well, and it stays with me whenever he says it, he's like, just leave them with more hope than you found them. If you think about Jesus in his walk here on earth, don't get wrapped up in the religion side of things. A lot of what he originally was teaching has gotten lost over time, which is understandable when you look at the big picture. But you look at it and you say, here's a guy who just tried to leave everywhere with more hope. I don't care which spiritual belief you are, but try to give someone and everything in your life more hope every single day. You just exude that. Like everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be great. Just try that for the next 30 days. We're at the beginning of December. Say, everything's great. How are you? Everything's great. Even if you don't feel it in that moment, like everything's great. And you just say that for the next 30 days. You can take back up if you've got some other response that doesn't fuel you, that doesn't get you excited. You can take that back up at the end of December into January. Don't plan on that. But just for this next 30 days, use hope. Everything's great. I'm really hopeful for this season. It's going to be awesome, even in those dark times. But if you're that person who needs hope, I hope that you're willing and open enough. We've got the prayer chaplains here, which is a fantastic service to have someone pray with you, just to have someone listen to you. They are here, they are open, and it's important that you know that. But do people know in your own lives that you're open, or if you're that person. If you're not open for people to talk to you, don't be that way. But here, even in this group, there's going to be some who need that hope. And I want to encourage you all to know that most people in here are willing to hold space for you, to listen to you, and to give you a little bit of hope. But if you want to argue about why you have no hope, even after someone tries to give it to you, I really want you to reflect on saying, what am I trying to teach myself here? Because it's important to be conscious of how you're treating what other people are trying to give you, especially in those areas. Because you may be the most charged up battery full of hope. You plug into a lot of people who are hopeless right now, it's going to drain your, what was the word? Dadgum battery, right? Going back to that dadgum. So that's why you come here on Sundays. That's why you have the conversation with people who make you feel great and give you hope for the future. So I hope that you're in that person of sharing hope, or the person who's willing to receive hope, but always know that you're in one of those positions. And that's a blessing that you have here. And that should give you a lot of hope going forward, because what kind of Christmas season is it going to be? Can I see thumbs up or thumbs down? Is this going to be a good Christmas season or bad? Great. Share that and invite people. That's another. People don't have an environment where they can just come and think freely. Remember, that's what you have here at Unity. Reverend Sandra, Reverend Duke. Everyone here is here just to create a space to think and to share some concepts. People don't have that out there. They're just thinking to themselves like, oh, man, I wonder if anyone else thinks this way. So you have an opportunity there to share some hope. We've got an amazing, amazing musician coming next week. Give me 1 second, I'm looking up the name. So his name is Henry Donaher, and he is the organist and director of music at Dartmouth University. And so he's going to be here with us next Sunday. Will be a great opportunity. And then also this afternoon is the concert, which starts at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5:30. So if you're free this afternoon, come out to that. It will be a great showing. And remember, the key is carry hope with you in every single thing that you do over this month, because it is going to be a beautiful month. And you're going to learn more. You're going to experience more. You're going to reconnect with people you haven't talked to. You're going to find someone who just needed you to show up to give them a little bit of hope. And never underestimate your value, because this is just you in the school of life. And you're an amazing teacher, and you're an amazing student. So thank you all very much for allowing me this short opportunity to be with you here this morning.
As we move into meditation, take a moment to find a comfortable position in your chair. You're taking a deep breath, hold it for just a moment, and then slowly exhale. And as you do, feel every part of your body become relaxed. Your mind begins to slow down. You have a sense of peace that comes over you. This is your time. We go deeper and deeper into meditation, and we discover that everything truly is okay. There's up times, there's down times, there's good times, there's bad times, there's difficult times, there's easy times, but that is just life. When we are centered, we move down the path of life one step at a time. We discover we have everything we need to rise above or overcome anything that disrupts our peace of mind. When we begin to live with a hopeful attitude, our mind begins to put forth thoughts and feelings that attract us to things that are hopeful. And it's through that process, that thing we hope for begins to manifest in our life. Slowly begin to come back to this time and this place. And as you do so, feel a renewed energy within you, a brighter outlook for the day ahead, for the year ahead, for the life you're living. We've been given everything we need to live a comfortable and fulfilling life. And we go forth with a peaceful mind, knowing that is a fact. We go forth with a peaceful heart, to be at peace with all the people in our world. We go forth with a peaceful spirit, knowing that the life we have and the individual we are is divinely appointed. Peaceful mind, peaceful heart, peaceful spirit, and so it is.
It's now time in our service when we give of our gifts. I invite you to take your offering in your hands, those of you who are online, in your hearts and your minds, and I'd like you to join me in the offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. We bless the gifts and the givers, and we know that these gifts go forward to do the will and the work of our beloved way shower, elder brother, and teacher, Jesus the Christ. And so it is. Amen. Those of you at home, please press the donate button and give from your hearts. Thank you. Before we, also I have a special, go ahead, you can collect the offering, please. I have a special announcement, and that is Diana Greer. Diana, would you come down, please? Diana is one of our chaplains. She helped pull the chaplains program back together. And for the past year, she's been studying to become a licensed Unity teacher. She first joined the metaphysical Bible class several years ago and asked me how she could expand her knowledge of Bible. And come on up. And so as a result, she decided she just wanted to do Bible, that's all. And then she said, well, I think I want to be a licensed Unity teacher. So she recently has been certified after all the training as a licensed Unity teacher. And what's the title again? Here we go. Thank you. Diana is the Director of Special Services with the Fort Leavenworth Public School District. She has a very busy job. She told me she just wanted to be a licensed Unity teacher, and now she says, well, I think I want to be an ordained Unity minister, and I get the privilege of being her mentor through the program. So both she and Rory are students in Unity Urban Ministerial School and the future of Unity Temple on the Plaza's ministry. Thank you.
We hope this song brings you some joy and cheer this morning.
Let the tree be for
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for coming this morning. We close with the prayer for protection and the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.